So in this video, we're going to talk about who is Louis Billaud. So Louis Billaud is, again, one of the most important pianists of our time. And she's also happens to be someone that I went to school with when I was a young pianist. Well, first, a little background information. She graduated the University of Alaska, Anchorage, magna cum laude, with a Bachelor of Music degree in piano performance. Then she graduated the University of Radford in Virginia with a Master of Music. And finally, she graduated the prestigious Boston University with a Doctorate of Musical Arts. In 1978, she took first prize in the Maxim Shapiro Memorial Piano Competition. And that happened before I met her. In 1987, she took first prize in the International Bartók-Kabalevsky Piano Competition, and that happened while I was going to school with her, so that was pretty cool. Nothing like a little pressure, right? She received honorable mention and then 2-time second place runner-up in the International Piano Recording Competition. While she was at Radford University in 1997, she received the Exemplary Performance Award. In 2004, she was a semi-finalist in the Webb Concert Hall International Competition. In 2014, she received the Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award from the National Association of Music Education Adult and Community Music Special Research Group. In the same year, she also received the Outstanding Faculty Award from the State Council of Higher Education for the state of Virginia. The following year, she was a semi-finalist in the American Prize Piano Competition. And in 2018, she became an inductee in the Albert Nelson Marquis Lifetime Achievement. She's also been featured in Who's Who in America from 2006 to 2009, from 2011 to 2014, and in 2016. She was featured in Who's Who of American Women in 2000, 2005 to 2006, 2008, and 2010, and Who's Who in the World 2006 and 2009. Louis Billaud has performed throughout the United States and Europe, including a premiere performance from American composer Kent Holliday of a 4-movement sonata, which was dedicated to her. And also, she presented a recital lecture of the same composer of Incantations from the Popol Vuh, which was presented to the College Music Society International Conference at Zagreb, Croatia. She also created a DVD that's basically a lecture recital called Mazepa, an inspirational living legend, which explores the ties between art, history, literature, politics, music in 19th century Paris around a unifying central figure, Mazepa, which is a legendary 17th century Cossack hetman. She is a student of distinguished French pianist Jean-Paul Billaud, who later became her husband. She met Jean-Paul Billaud in Anchorage, Alaska, and then after they got married, they moved to France. After the birth of her son, she became involved in the American Diabetes Association and began performing benefit concerts for them. One of those concerts took her to America's East Coast, where she now lives with her husband. She continues to teach and record and lecture and perform and inspire pianists, young and old, everywhere. Thank you, Louise, for all that you're doing. Now, the memories that I have of Louis Billaud and being in class with her are fond memories. One of the most formative parts of my pianistic life were piano master class, which were taught by Jean-Paul Billaud. And Louise was in that class. In fact, a lot of the focus of the class was on her when I was there because she was preparing for some competitions. And she defined for me the sound that's in my head when I think of Franz Liszt's Mephisto Waltz No. 1 S514, because the classes were from 2 in the afternoon to 6 in the afternoon, and a lot of times they didn't let out on time. And no one was frustrated about that because most of us wished that the class would never end. And especially the times when Louise was working on something. If you've never been to a piano master class, the way it works is the pianist will sit down and play something and the teacher will listen to you play it, and then they'll stop you and they'll say, okay, here's what I wants you to think about when you're playing this. And here's, you know, this is good, make an adjustment here or there, and might explain maybe some history or, you know, give you some more insight into the piece. But what's interesting about it is he's doing it in front of the whole class. So the whole class gets the benefit of that education. The performer gets the benefit of having more experience in front of an audience to get more comfortable about that, right? I just have hours and hours and hours of conversations in my head about the Mephisto Waltz and many other pieces as well. She worked on a Franz Liszt sonata also at the time, and another piece by Beethoven. It was a theme and variations by Beethoven. And once again, since that's the first time I'd heard those pieces, and also since I've just got hours and hours and hours of conversations about that and performances of that piece in my head, that really sort of defines what those pieces sound like for me. So anyway, so those are some of the memories that I have of being in class with great pianists like Louis Billaud. So I will leave some links to where you can learn more about Louis Billaud in the comments, and I'll also leave some information about where you can get her CDs and DVDs, and that way you can get more information about her. I'll probably be talking about her on more videos. I'll certainly be talking more about Jean-Paul Billaud, probably making a video about him as well. And now I just want to say something to Louise. You had sent me in one of your emails something about the fact that you were the one that had to go out and get groceries. And so I wanted to respond to that because this is something I think that is relevant to all of my viewers in these strange times now where all of us are locked down like Martha Stewart, right? So this idea of going out to get groceries, okay? I haven't left the house since March, and there's nothing outside this door I want, and I won't be leaving the house anytime soon for anything, and most certainly not groceries. So here's what you do. What you do is you go online to your favorite grocery store, and you start an online order, and you figure out all the things you need, which is great because half the time that I actually go into a store to do shopping, I only go there for milk, and somehow I end up with 2 carts full of stuff $300 later. So it actually saves me money, just the way that I shop. And anyway, a couple hours later, they say, okay, you can come and pick up your stuff. And then basically you just drive up there and they give you a phone number to call and say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to pick up my groceries. You pop the trunk, you sit there and you wait, you grab your cell phone, you flip through your favorite TikTok videos until somebody rolls up. When they roll up, you don't even have to roll down the window. If you have to communicate, you can communicate through interpretive dance and glottal clicks if you have to. But there really shouldn't be any communication because basically all they do is they load the groceries up into your trunk. You've already paid for them online. Problem solved. And then they close the trunk for you and they wave at you and you drive away. And so it's really nice. You don't even have to put your mask on because you're inside your closed car and you're not going to roll the window down. And my grocery store is probably half a mile from my house, so it's not even like I have to drive very far. And it's something that I haven't done before, and it's just so convenient. The other thing I do too is I get a lot of stuff from Costco, but I order it online. And I think once you get past $75, they no longer charge you a fee for delivery or anything like that. And they don't charge you shipping either. And the stuff arrives in 2 days, so it's pretty quick. Like I order Saturday and the stuff is on my front doorstep by Monday. So pretty neat stuff. Anyway, just sharing some ideas. And hope all is well with you and yours. And remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.